And so there, you know, and then adults around me going, what is wrong with you? Can you be more careful? And being scolded for these things that essentially I could not help. And now that I know that this is how I am, I can apply self-love towards it and not self-hatred and unacceptance. Like, not accepting that this is how I am almost threw me into a longer, just perpetuated a meltdown pretty much. And there's so many things. And then at the same time that I struggle with this, it's difficult to explain. It's difficult for people to believe you have a disability when they see someone like me doing exercise, doing aerial hoop, doing like poi and kind of a way of juggling. It's not exactly juggling. Those are exercises that can improve my proprioception. Um, and so I picked up these hobbies as a way for physical therapy to improve these things, because I know that these things get worse as I get older. Also, what can exacerbate it is anxiety, PTSD, you know, a fight or flight nervous system, all of that. Also, my muscles hurt because of this. Um, there's so many things. But I wanted to touch base on how it affects my driving. I can drive. I'm a decent driver, but it's difficult for me to drive. And if I'm going to drive, it's like takes an extra amount of energy and masking skills in order to drive, because I struggle to park. I struggle to understand where I am in the lane in relation, or like in relation to the cars next to me. I've never been in a car accident like involving other cars and that kind of thing, but I have to be so careful, and I get nervous because I really don't know if I'm this far away from something or this far away from something. So I always have to be like, when I'm passing someone, I probably wait way till there's a huge distance while someone else would like pass, get over. I'm not sure if this is really this or this. So I know I wait till it's an exaggerated distance to go back into my lane, like on a highway, because I don't trust the way my brain is perceiving space. Me remembering more things about driving. When I first started driving, one of the things that was a really big issue that people who were in the car with me noticed, and it still is an issue when I switch cars, and I've never had like the same car for very long. I'm usually borrowing someone's car. Someone has let me borrow their car for a period of time. I've never actually owned a car in my name. Also, I can't, if I'm going to continue applying for SSDI, you can't own more than $2,000 in your name, like in assets. So that disqualifies you from disability. Like if I were to get it, I would need to not own things of material possession that have actual value, because yeah, that's how the system works. Like they don't think people with disabilities should live like a comfortable life, apparently. But anyways, driving, something that I've had to really improve on is the impact. I talked about in a previous video, like I don't realize how heavy I'm pushing on something sometimes, and there are exercises to help improve that. I've also just, I think I added it, but I would press on the brake too sudden or too like quick. Like I would kind of like urge the car like this, like, you know, and like even though like I'm like, I know you're supposed to slow down at a certain distance from the stop sign so you can be stopped in time, and recognizing, okay, I think I need to start slowing down right about now. And these things are things we learn, right? And then it just becomes natural for us. Not for me. It's like every time I drive, I have to relearn it. I'm so nervous about when I drive again because my license has been restricted. I'm working on getting it unrestricted. I have to be paying child support in order to do so and get on a payment plan. And they were like, oh, yeah, pay $230. I'm like, that is my whole paycheck for like the month. What? How do I even do that? Because when I was working part-time, literally my paycheck might just be $200 every 2 weeks. That is $400 a month. I have not ever made like $1,000. And I'm just like, bro, that doesn't even cover rent. If anything, it just covers utilities. And that's why I've always been pretty chill with my partners. So I'm like, I got the utilities. I'll pay our phone bill. That's all I can do. I can throw gas at the car There's not the other half that would make up for a comfortable living. That's why I applied for this SSDI, and it's 10 years, and I'm a motherfucking get this shit, because I'm tired of living life so overwhelmed because I just need to be met. I'm already doing my best. And someone needs to meet me in the middle here, please, because like I'm doing it all. But anyways, driving, if I switch up cars, it is a new task for me to get comfortable and understand the car and how lightly to press on the brake or gas, or how hard I have to press on the brake or gas. I had one car I had to press all the way down on the brake so hard and it would still barely stop. A lot of the cars I've had are so fucking junky that it was dangerous in itself. Had brakes go out, I'm just flying everywhere. But anyways, my dad was he bought me a car, he was supposed to give it to me, but then yeah, my disabilities got in the way again. I lost a job, I started OnlyFans during COVID, and then they're like, we're not going to give you this car anymore. Also, the agreement was that I pay the insurance, and I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. But then it ended up being like $1,000 to get like out-of-state tags and all this other stuff. I was like, bitch, if I had $1,000 I would have bought something on a buy-sell trade. Like, again, feeling in adulthood that I'm about to like be given just basic needs, and then someone's like, nope, you can't do it the way we do it, you can't have it. And I'm like, I am trying so hard. Sorry, I had to like sell nudes in order to pay my bills. But like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I stopped talking to my dad because I got a text from my stepmom. Well, it was like, Debbie and I have decided we won't be giving you the car. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Lose my number. And do not send gifts to us anymore, to a child who doesn't even know who you are. Because what we need more than some Christmas presents is a car. But you keep enjoying your Hawaii trips, your trips to Hawaii, your special tattoos while you get there, your expensive wine bottles, your big old house. You keep enjoying your privilege. Your 7 years you went to become a pharmacist, and well, y'all already know how I feel about big pharma. So is it ironic that my stepmom is a pharmacist? No. It's just kind of part of the fucking joke in my life. Well, that went some other places I didn't expect it to, but basically, I want to drive, and I've worked really hard to drive. I had a medical restriction on my license from the time I was old enough to be in driver's ed, because they asked me what medication I was on, and I said it, which was a bunch of psych meds. And they asked why, and I didn't know, so I Googled it on my phone in class in 7th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade, and it was like for bipolar, so I wrote bipolar, and then there was a medical restriction on my license until I was 21. I learned how to drive a Jeep Cherokee while my husband at the time had just had his like gallbladder taken out or something for like no fucking reason. I don't think that fixed any of his stomach issues, but anyways, and I learned how to drive that way because he was, fucked up and couldn't drive after the surgery. So power steering, me and my little self, just no power steering, just like standing up and just like pulling this wheel over and hitting the gas just to try to get around a corner. Oh man, that Jeep sat in the shop more than it did that we sat in it. But he was, oh my god, an idiot for buying. He bought it as is. It had probably been in a car accident. Dude, the front seat wasn't even connected. It was like the seat had like been like boing out, like pinball shot out. Like the seat was not connected to the floor of it. There was no, like, the windows got stuck on the way down. There was a gas leak. He bought it. We went to Colorado. First trip to Colorado. It was a shit-ass car. On the way back, we just barely made it to Hayes. One of the wheels rolled off on the highway, and we rolled off the off-ramp with 3 fucking wheels. Anyways, I've never had a nice car. Just put that out there. And I can imagine what my life would have been if I had reliable transportation, the opportunities I would have made it to. and how hard I worked to learn how to drive despite all of the difficulties that it has for me, that I still fucking learned how, that I fought with the DMV to get a medical restriction off,